Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the RationalInvestor.com's top 100 crypto review. Crypto TRI Crypto Countdown. Crypto, never know what the hell the name of this show is. And it's kind of silly how a year later, Brian's still making the same joke. Anyway. This is TRI's weekly crypto review. There's a good few hundred people that watch us through the week, so I hope you guys enjoy the offering. Obviously, with the crypto market, look at the way it is. It's a little bit tough these days to get too excited. And unfortunately, especially if you do participate on the TRI website, you've probably seen quite a few sort of cautionary words about 2022 and 2023. And unfortunately, it looks like it's living up to all the predictions. So hang in there, everybody. If anything, you can always tell the real diehards, the real gung-hos, the real guys who actually are serious about this business of trading. Because they're always in the pits, even in the middle of bear markets, grumbling and mumbling and groaning, but just doing our thing. And ironically enough, we all know. Actually, it'd be interesting to see, number one, if anybody's actually watching. Let's see, is there anybody over on YouTube? Hey, got 3 people! Woohoo! Hey, there's Adam. Hi, Adam. Adam's actually coming to Portugal with us here, so... it'll be super exciting to see Adam in a couple weeks. Do have my co-show hosts, and if anything, co-host. If anything, great to see their continued enthusiasm. And I like to just every once in a while I like to quiz the audience. Unfortunately, there's nobody watching. So Adam, the pressure's all on you. Here we go. Let's see if Adam could get the answer correct. Maybe there'll be somebody else out there to help him. But even if we're in an absolutely horrible market, but you are insanely disciplined, and you have setups that you trade, and the setup is everything that you do, and that the setup is going to produce 2-to-1 risk-reward ratios. So that means if you're right, you get paid $2, but if you're wrong, you lose $1. How often do you actually have to be right to actually make money? All right, well, let's start off with just to be a scratch trader. Don't make money, don't lose money. How often do you have to be right? So if you do know the answer to that question, then you understand why professionals trade setups and how we sort of look at this as a statistics game. And really all we're just trying to do is make sure that the odds are in our favor. So I won't tell you the answer, but yeah, there, Adam. See, Adam already knew. Adam's been, I think, through the whole program with me. And actually, he was part of our day trader group. I don't see him in the day trader group too much these days, but I hope you're doing well, Adam. So. And actually, like I said, I'll be seeing you probably in a couple weeks in Portugal. We are going to have a meetup in Portugal. Some of the TRI OGers getting together, and we're taking a look at some property in Portugal just out of curiosity. Maybe if the stars align, we might just buy a little place over there and run like a sort of a live campus. But we will cross that bridge when we come to it. First off, hopefully we'll have a nice little get-together. And a meet and greet in person, and maybe have a couple beverages together. So, it is my privilege to come to you on a weekly basis, talk a little crypto, and introduce you also to some other site members. Various different site members have helped me out with this show over the past year or so. And our 2 co-hosts, and actually we were curious as to whether Ben would turn up tonight because he actually took a trip down to the other side of the world. And frankly speaking, if he said, you know what, Brian, I'm just not interested right now, I'll bug you when I come back, I wouldn't blame him. But he's here tonight. Ben, are you on the call?
I am. Yeah, happy to be here.
Hello, sir.
As always,
Yeah.
all the way from down under.
And actually, the internet works down there just as good, eh?
I don't know. It might be a little spotty today, but we'll see how we go.
Well, you sound clear, and I was telling him when he was on camera, I think he actually looks more handsome on Australian internet than American internet, so there you go. Just kidding. Anyway, welcome to the show tonight, sir. Thank you very much for participating. Great to hear your voice and, of course, see your face. I suppose at some point down the road we might get faces on these broadcasts. I don't like to really put my co-hosts on the spot like that. And I know some people in crypto like to kind of remain anonymous, so I don't really press the faces too much on this show. But on the Sunday show, the TRI marketing department has encouraged me to be more camera on. And actually, we even do the call in Zoom. I don't know, have you used the Zoom software before, Ben? Do you like using that?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, but I saw you were doing some daily briefs and or the product chicken show with your face up there, so it's good to see.
Yeah, and of course Julian, he likes to use the Zoom, so he does that on Thursdays. So anyway, I suppose we might get around to that down the road, but what the heck. And my co-show host, he's still actually waking up right now. Actually, what is it? Is it the middle of the night for you, Ben, or is it the middle of the day? What time of day is it there for you?
It's morning time.
Morning.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
my other co-show host, actually coming from another angle of the world. Actually, I think if I'm not mistaken, it's just daybreak for him. We have the Romanian Nightmare on the call. I don't know whether he's warmed up to that name or not. My apologies if it irritates the hell out of you, but I love you, babe. We have Paul on the call. Paul, are you here this morning?
Good morning. It's 4 a.m. for me.
4 a.m. Wow, what a soldier.
Yep.
So, how are you today?
Yeah, I was waking up, drink my coffee.
All right.
I'm ready for that.
You're ready
to
for
see
it.
what we can. Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. So, Adam, there you go. You got all the show principles ready to rock and roll. Oh, yeah, there's a couple other people that have joined him. I have a feeling Ben and Paul probably are those other people, though. Anyway, so we'll have some fun. We'll talk some crypto. Hopefully, Brian doesn't say anything stupid. But maybe if we're really lucky, we might give you some value tonight and PMA for the win and all that kind of fun stuff. I suppose we could probably, now that we got Ben here, we could probably check in on our leaderboard. Ben, did you happen to make a vote for this past week? I would be understandable if you didn't.
Thankfully, I didn't, so I don't look silly.
You did not. Why? What did Ooh, down 8%. Is that what we did here this week, eh? Isn't that interesting too? Because I remember last week I looked at it and I saw the sine wave on the price chart, and I thought for certain we were going to have a rally. That was this. So interesting. I guess last Wednesday when we did the show, that was the 17th. So that was right in here. And I was thinking that we had this ahead of us. But fascinating how the down part of that sine wave was just brutal. And then the up part of the sine wave, almost no price performance at all. That, unfortunately, is a little bit scary because they often say when markets are supposed to go up and they don't go up, well, what happens when they're supposed to go down? Uh-oh. So, and I guess when I look at this price chart, it's a little bit bothersome. I'm seeing A, B, C, D now, which takes us down probably KISS, yeah. Where were those previous lows? There we go, yeah. So it almost looks to me like what they're going to do here is they're going to wash these stops down in here. So it's a little bit scary what I see here. You can see we're just about getting to the cusp of the end of this bull sine wave cycle, and then and actually it's interesting because I did, the TRI algo on the site, It was flashing signs that the market was egregiously oversold. It was just a week or two flashing signs that it was egregiously overbought. And if we actually look at the crypto breadth indicator, it has gotten absolutely washed out. But what I'm worried about here, and this is kind of like the stochastic oscillator. Sometimes when the stochastic oscillator gets oversold and often what they call embedded, it can just park itself in overbought, oversold for a while. Yes, the market is oversold. We had a little bit of a cross, and whenever we have this cross with the teal pointing down, still we like to call that a weak buy signal. And frankly speaking, I think that's exactly what we saw right across the board. I did actually have little buys working there. I saw this double bottom come in. Down, up, down, and then again, down again. Somebody clearly was defending this area, and then down, up, down, and breakout. I strapped on a nice little long here, and we were enjoying this rally nicely. But actually, this RSI study that I've been showing you guys here, this is starting to worry me. As you can see from the RSI study, we broke it, and then like how many multiple W's do you have? This has basically been a straight line up. I do not like the look of this structure at all. This scares me. Like a normal healthy market is back and forth, right? This we just had straight down, straight up. So I actually had an inside bar reversal, sort of bearish signal here. Yeah, I guess about 4 or 8 hours ago. Right here, right off of this trend line too, which is quite remarkable. Boom, boom. Right against that trend line. So that weak buy signal, it just like ran into a brick wall of resistance here. And so I just simply told the community, I was like, I don't need to be a hero. Inside bar failure, on this failure here, I just was like, get me out of here. What I actually posted in our community was, as soon as I start seeing a bullish 4-bar fractal, it might even have me get right back in off of the same level. I don't know. But as long as that 3-bar fractal, the inside bar fail, as long as that's working, I don't need to be a hero here. So I hopped off, took a couple bucks, nothing really to get excited about. And we also have the same thing. Actually, Ethereum looks a heck of a lot better to me, to be perfectly honest with you. Still, one thing that bothers me about this is like you can kind of see RSI goes up and down and back and forth and all that. This has just been straight down, straight up. And of course I do all my counts, and I don't like the fact that the count here of all these W's coming in, we're getting pretty old, and all we did was we just worked our way to the 50 line. I don't necessarily think that this is broken down. I didn't take this long trade because it didn't really produce a sexy enough risk reward, just 1-to-1. So it's sort of mediocre, not really. And that's like seeing if you could buy off of that level. So I didn't even really do anything here at all. And this also sort of corresponds with that, that crypto signal, that weak buy signal. That's exactly what this looks like to me. Weak signal, yes, we are moving up, but oh my goodness, we get any kind of weakness here and we roll back over, all hell could break loose. And I'm worried because I think I've told you guys, I don't know whether I show it to you guys on this Wednesday show, so I'll just quickly show it to you. On the website, we have this just incredible blog. It's such a cool blog. I just have to figure out how to find it. Actually, I've already had the library up there, so let's go here. Our blog, boosh. And I've been continually referring to this study and this election year study, and this is what I'm most worried about. Is I don't think a lot of people in the public, especially in crypto, I just don't think that they really pay attention to this kind of stuff. but the correlation between crypto tech stocks these days is extremely high. So if we get sort of very powerful pushes one way or the other in the stock market, odds are either crypto is going to be a leading indicator and we'll be projecting that, or it will sort of move in unison. And you can see, you know, second year new Democratic president, that's sort of this blue dotted line. I know it's tough to see, but you can see how we sort of Emmy, and then as we head out of August, oh boy, September. And FYI, if you don't know this and you're sort of learning about technical analysis, not a bad idea to write this down. September historically is the worst performing month in the year. And, you know, in the stock market, we used to always make the joke, they don't call it the fall for nothing. The leaves fall from the trees, the hair falls out of the head, and usually stock prices fall from the sky. So, and the worst part about this year is you can see we're gonna get into October, and they're gonna sort of head fake that everything's fine, and then there's one more big dump into the end of the month. And I got a funny feeling that, you know, the Democrats, the socialists, the you know, to all intents and purposes, the FOMC, I think they are sort of quasi-socialist, communist kind of body. They would love to keep the socialists in power, keep those printing presses rocking and rolling. So what's the best way to sort of ensure that the incumbents all stay in power and there's no great shift in the power base in Washington, D.C., I think, is to have another big health scare. And hell, we might even lock everybody down, and the only way you're allowed to vote is through mail-in ballots. And just ask the Trump camp about the efficacy of mail-in ballot system. So get ready, folks. Oh, Jesus, we got a couple really nasty months ahead of us here. So that's what I'm really worried about. This has got me very, very bothered. And then you go look at the stock market itself, and, you know, our breadth tools, I think, are doing an admirable job. And, I mean, there's the Dow Jones Industrials. The fascinating thing is that the stock market itself is looking exactly the way crypto looked back in the middle of July. And, of course, we all know what the hell crypto's done since the middle of July. Right? Where the hell is July? Can we get a daily chart? Yeah, I guess, well, there's July right there, right? So, and here we are here. So, and interestingly enough, right, I wasn't expecting this kind of slide. But if we actually look at our spreadsheet, wow, it sure shows up there, right? Look at that weekly performance. Kabush. Ouch. So, I got a funny feeling you might see the stock market, right? Middle of July is where crypto kind of topped out, and I think the stocks kind of exhausted themselves. You know, a really good example of that, I was really surprised to see the way Apple's been like a leader forever. Apple. And yeah, there's Apple. Apple's kind of crapping out here recently. So, and I wouldn't be surprised if Apple looks like crypto by the end of all of this. So, give me a bit of a slog here, boys and girls, no doubt about it. I did put out this tweet recently comparing the 14-15 cycle, the 18-19 cycle, and this is the peak trough, right? And really, you know, everybody, when it comes to, you talk about crypto cycles, everybody talks about the bull cycle, right? And all the wonderfulness about the bull. Only a doofus like Brian would actually compare bear cycles and what the crashes look like. But then I'm a masochist by nature, so this kind of stuff turns me on, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, I mean, you see the image. You know, a guy, Simon Dixon, who I have immense amount of respect for in this space, he often says, geez, if you can get Bitcoin to correct 70-80% off of its peaks, it's a screaming buy. And that's probably, in my opinion, the only time when you should buy Bitcoins. But of course, it drives you crazy. Right up at the top, everybody starts coming out going, no, this time it's different. And of course, as soon as you hear that, it's always the same. So I even put out a tweet basically recently saying, I love Bitcoin. Bitcoin tastes great. Bitcoin can't wait. Um, but the next 12 to 19 weeks, maybe, if you are interested in Bitcoin, you are thinking about investing, maybe just cool your jets until we get well into 2023. I have a sneaky suspicion there's some surprises in store for us this fall. And actually, it was
Brian,
oh, hi,
sorry to
hello.
interrupt. Would you
Oh,
mind if I grabbed a screenshot of just like a link of that image? I think that'd be great to chuck in the cycles analysis part of the app.
sure. Yeah, by
Yeah,
all means.
yeah.
I'll put
Sorry to,
the link. Where do you want it? Do you want it
yeah, just
in our
chuck it in our
little?
chat right here. Yeah,
Yeah, how about in our
great.
little room there? So, are you
Perfect.
on the website right now?
Yep.
All right, cool. So there is the image. Also, I did tweet this out, so
Okay,
you could always
great. Thank
retweet
you.
it and all that kind of fun stuff. And
Cool.
actually, what was really interesting about that tweet in particular is I actually think that it caught a bunch of people's attention because look how many likes and retweets and all that crap it got. So you aren't alone. That's probably one of the tweets that's gotten the most traction that I've done. And there was even
Yeah.
do you know these guys? Cointelegraph.com. Does that sound familiar to you guys?
Mm-hmm.
They even made a quote, a reference to my tweet. So imagine that, eh?
Hey,
Brian's hitting prime
hey.
time, son of a bitch.
Wow.
So anyway, I mean the problem here is that this isn't like a positive tweet, which sucks. Beamish drew on experience of two prior crypto bear markets with a comparative price action chart suggesting that the real macro low was far from in on Bitcoin. And I hate to say it, it kind of feels like right now we're kind of like right in the middle of this. I mean, nobody obviously knows exactly what the bottom's going to look like, but it sure feels that way. Then also too, well, we don't really need to go into that more in detail. I just was trying to do just an overview, so I hope you guys got a little bit of review there. So in a weird sort of way, that little bear ABCD I was showing you there just a moment ago, this pattern ABCD. Ironically enough, that's actually a trade setup for me if, and actually I can even probably draw the levels out. We want to see at least a 33% retracement of this range, and it might mean that I have to draw it actually off of that high, but let's see if I do that. Bot setup, boom. Oh, so we haven't even done that. So it won't be off of that range. It's probably, well, that's pretty darn close. Actually, interesting. That actually looks like the trade. If I was going to trade that, it has to set up off of that range. So, I mean, it's a trader's life. This particular setup that I trade, it requires that the counter trend rally, if this is the top and the failure, it requires that it retraces at least 33%. So, if I was hunting a short and I wanted to try and play this to the short side, I think the trade looks something along these lines. And there we go. Yeah. So we had this downtrend line, and this is what got me a little bit worried earlier, and I hopped off the long, was I did not like the inside bar failure there. That kind of spooked me. Now I suppose if this still is a bull, right, this trend line makes it really easy. So we just get our butt back above there, then we put in a W, and away we go. Super bullish signal. I'll be more than happy to get right back on because that's basically where I got off. If, however, we can't recapture that trend line, in fact, we even M out, then I'll have one high, two highs, three highs to risk against, and I'll be thinking about going short there. Looking for basically 19,128. So actually, I don't mind that. Do they like, and actually that's interesting. You see how I zoom that out? if we look at the total volume of the total range, interesting how my bot objective is basically that bottom of value there. So you can see when they did actually tank the market down into these levels down here, there really wasn't that much interest in doing business. So I could see like a trade, people active in the market trading this formation, AB. Let's see if I can do that. Maybe I'll make that like orange. Did I do that? Clone CD. So that's there into there. And, you know, if down in here, we're probably going to get into like free fall. Are they going after the stops? Are they going after these liquidity pools? Do new sellers actually step up and start selling in here? Or are they just trying to do stop washes and wash out as many weak hands as possible? And my hunch is if we probably change this, we could add the alt ABCD levels, things like 1.618 and 1.272. And sure enough, you can see like this pattern A, B, C, D, it can go all the way to, it can go all the way. Oh, come on, you. It can go all the way to 127, and it can go all the way to 1.618, which would be that bigger A, B, C, D objective. So, you know, if this thing, the next 24 hours, I would say the next, let's say, 24 to 48 hours, how price actually behaves in this little window here and right against this trend line is the tell. And so actually all you traders, interestingly enough, this is an interesting comment on the market because most of the time traders look at price action and they go, nah, it's not really in a very good trade location, or nah, I don't really have structure, not really up against a trend line, there's enough reasons to go meh. Interestingly enough, because we are right up against this trend line and, we are in sort of Collins pump chaser zone and this could be a head and shoulders top. So if that's the case, then we probably ought to see a nice little counter, left shoulder counter trend rally, right? So the head and shoulders goes shoulder, head, shoulder, right? Kind of like the image that you see. Maybe that's not even the head and shoulders. Maybe it's... more like off of there, which would probably make more sense, to be honest with you. Something like that, that's at least a lot more horizontal. So, all the symmetrical people, the ASD people of the world, they would prefer to see that kind of pattern, right? So that would mean our counter trend rally comes up into here, and that's probably Paul's vote, right? If I let him talk tonight, he's going to be all bullish and talk about bullish setups. I don't know. But point here is, very rarely does the market actually set up a window where you can have the bulls and the bears come to the ring and slug it out, and there is a well-defined price range that defines whether this is a bull or a bear. And I think that's it right there. From about, let's say, 20,500 on the downside to about 21,500 on the upside, maybe 121.9, somewhere in that area. I did see somebody throwing out 21.8 as an important number. I suppose you could argue that is the bottom of value right there. My rule is I want to see the market, bullish structure on the other side of this trend line. So, like I'll tell you folks, it's interesting. You don't see this very often in the marketplace that basically we've got this nice little window here that defines, am I a bull? And the market structure on the other side of this trend line, yes I am. Up we go. Or am I a bear? Market structure failure on this trend line, bot setup fires, and down we go. So that's kind of interesting. You don't see that every day. If anything, anybody who is an options trader, I know Sebastian, you love watching those options on Deribit. I suppose there's probably the Ethereum and the Bitcoin options on CME now. In fact, I think I heard that Ethereum options are being listed on CME shortly. So if that's the case, right, as I said there just a moment ago, this actually would be a really good, what they call a straddle. I think I would call it a straddle, or maybe a strangle. I always forget that. I always get those two mixed up. Anyway, the options, guys, they would be buy a call, buy a put, just let it go. Expecting some serious volatility on the other side. As soon as we market structure one way or the other, you take the losing position off, and you just ride the winning position. Right? I think it's called a strangle. Oh, can't do it on here. Anyway, I'll look it up while Paul's doing his presentation. Now, this is a really interesting commentary about trading. I mean, I don't really know what the hell Barry Silbert is up to these days. Barry used to be, if you don't know his story, he used to be one of the principals of the Ethereum story. And then Ethereum came out. There was a big hack. And right out of the gate, they were going to roll the whole damn thing back and fuck with the blockchain and all that. And Barry's like, well, what the hell? I thought this was the immutable blockchain. You're not allowed to do that. You're not supposed to do that. That's the whole point of the blockchain. So he insisted that, hey, I want the original Ethereum that I built. So they forked Ethereum Classic. That basically was the original Ethereum, and then of course Vitalik went and rolled back the ETH and undid that big hack. So anyway, it's just regardless of that story, that's not relevant in this conversation. What is interesting here is TRI runs, and I used to be a commodities broker forever ago. And I used to run this commodity trading advisory service. It's really, very, very simple stuff. Don't overthink this. I used to call it the Weekly Commodity Trend Survey. So I'll let it load up. WCTS. And I basically used to cover like all the commodities markets when I was a commodities broker. So we've thrown in the country funds and crypto and the sector ETFs. But to all intents and purposes, this is basically the commodity universe that I used to follow. And it's a really, really simple concept. Don't overthink this stuff. Actually, that's not the one I want to show you. I mean, it's so pretty too. I mean, these are all the bonds. So if you like to trade bonds, but more importantly, we look on here and we go, okay, these are all the markets that we're following here. And keep in mind, there's one gentleman on the site who actually did this like to full bore, and he has a service of the whole stock market, and he covers like something like 4,000 different issues. And I think it's just absolute gold what he's built. Got Sjord, TRI CTO. Sjord's got 500 different jobs going all at the same time. So hats off to Sjord to manage this. But I did get Sjord to just get this up and running on the site, which is my old commodities. But notice we have a crypto top 30, and lo and behold, hey, there's a buy signal, an actual buy. Most of the market, and actually it's interesting, you can see most of the crypto market is on its knees, down the bottom end of its range, but just not showing any strength at all. So that's why we say hunting buys. And you can see most of the market, and this is the way the markets usually work. Most of the time, most of the market is just neutral. It's not really a buy. It's not really a sell. It's just meh. And of course, the Jim Cramers of the world and the, God, do we have a Jim Cramer in crypto? I don't know whether we have that in crypto or not. Anyway, just sort of like the corporate shill. They'll tell you, oh yeah, this is a buy, that's a buy. But really, you look at the price chart and you go, you know what, it's just like, you're randomly picking names that are going to outperform. And that's usually, most of the time, the market sits there. But notice, we actually have a buy. The Weekly Commodity Trend Survey actually likes the name Crypto Top 30, and this is basically how the logic works, right? We calculate the 50% rule. So this is basically where the price is now relative to the average of the price over the past year, And you can see that ETC is sitting at about a 50% discount to the 50% rule. I mean, there are traders in the world that will buy 33.67. They will sell 44.92 every day of the week and buy all the Lambos they ever want with those kind of numbers. Then we look at the, so that's sort of our, is the market at the bottom end of the range, top of the range, and can we get a move back to the mean, middle of the range, and actually make some money? So the answer is yes there. And then what's the trend? And the easiest way to identify trend is to throw on a weekly price chart and just use two really simple moving averages. These are my preferred moving averages. A little bit weird, 13 and 30. It's interesting they correspond very nicely with things like the institutional moving average system, which I think is like 9 and 18 or something along those lines. I can't remember. Anyway, it gives very similar signals. But the point here is you can see we actually just got age in week 0. It just happened where the price in the short term was so strong, it actually pushed the fast moving average above the slow moving average. That's a momentum buy signal. So we have the market at the bottom end of the range, and we have a momentum buy signal, hence the 6 reading. And you can see lots and lots of 5s in crypto, but not too many 6s. So what does ETC look like? There it is. So super cool. This happens to be like a half-hour chart. I mean, the weekly people, they're looking at that image. And you can see there is the moving average cross. I got a hair. Maybe I would just hide all the drawings right now. All right, so there's the moving average cross. So if we get any kind of bullish setups here, you're best just to go with it. Just go with the setup. There's no guarantees in this business, right? That's what a trader's life is all about. You're just trading statistical probabilities. But as you can see, off the lower time frame, on that bottoming signal, beautiful inverted head and shoulders. And then we were talking about it this morning. As the breakout was coming in here, this thing just took off like a rocket. I mean, that's beautiful structure. You know, if I let Paul talk here today, maybe he'll talk a little bit about setups, and we can ask him whether this actually is a valid setup for him. Let's see what the momentum indicators. You can see actually we're making higher lows the whole way along here, and higher highs. So nice momentum. Willie was stupid and all that kind of fun talk over here when we were first interested. And up it goes. And I mean, the interesting thing is look what's happening now. So while Bitcoin and Ethereum are kind of floundering, I did see this thing pull back. And I'm actually asking, if I want to keep hunting setups. Like I said, we got a nice long entry there this morning. I wanted to get in off of this double bottom, and I had my bid working, but the market just took off. And I even put a tweet out going, slow down. What are you doing, you jerks? But hey, it's a trader's life. It's the way it goes, right? So anyway, right now, we have done a 33% retracement here. So we are coming up, of course, against this trend line. Now the question is, we've got one serious low. So you can see how we're coming up against this trend line here. If we can break the trend line, and then can we put in a W? And actually, that's not really the prettiest one. Let's try that again, right? Put in a nice W. Oh boy, Brian's going to get super interested. Let's see how good my drawing was. Is that close to the 25 level? Survey says. Boom. Oh, not bad. I'm getting better. So is this setting up that trend continuation trade that's going to take us up into the 50% rules? 2.618. I actually think we're probably going to go up into this 4.669. Well, we'll see how it goes. Only time will tell. And, kind of like with the Bitcoin chart, if this firms up and we actually start Wing on the other side of this trend line, I'll hop right back into the trade. I just got out on that inside bar because I don't like the look of that at all. So we'll see how it goes. Like I said, this could go either way. And it's interesting to see that, names that are actually spitting up weekly buy signals are still performing. I mean, this one is breaking the trend line right now as we speak. I mean, this son of a gun might just straight up. I don't know. You just never know. One thing I did notice before we got the show up and running, I like to watch the broader market. And, the story of late, of course, has been the absolute poop show coming out of China and how, the housing market is completely collapsed and credit markets are unwinding. It was interesting. Sjord showed us a news article about Russians and Chinese doing corporate deals. So I guess that's still going on. But I did notice about an hour or so ago, something significant happened here. You can see all the commodity currencies. And actually, I don't know whether Ben's actually turned on his TV. Something happened here. You can see everybody's all sort of pivoted violently back to the upside here. So, maybe Brian getting chicken shit on that little M top there in Bitcoin. Maybe that was a bit premature. And the gold's all popping up here. The commodity currencies, they're all popping. Looks like stocks are happier. So somebody said something, and maybe while Paul's talking, I'm just going to quickly look at the rags and see if I can figure out what the heck's driving all this. Because somebody clearly said something to cause this, to pivot like this. So, that's my view of the market right now. Oh, Jesus. That was 45 minutes? Good heavens, I talk way too much. Sorry, guys. I wouldn't mind now. Paul, are you up for a presentation this evening? And he goes, no.
No.
I don't know. Do you feel like showing these good people what's on your mind here?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I will minimize my screen. So that gives you sort of an overview of what Brian's thinking right now. And this is, half the reason why I like having Paul on the call. And, of course, Ben, if you feel like it. Always a pleasure having your input as well. But I always like to get, various different perspectives. So it's great that we got Paul on here. I think he's an excellent trader. And I think he has a very unique perspective. So with that said, I will hit the F11 button. Of course, whenever I do this, I always seem to screw it up. So let's see if I get it right this time. Boom. I did it. Yay. All right. I'll put myself on mute. I'll try really hard to be quiet. It's not easy. But Paul, you have the floor. Tell us what's on your mind this week.
Yeah. On my weekly newsletter, last week was a weak week. Mediocre results, below average. I had 12 trades, 5 wins, 7 losses, and a big profit of 4%. But it's okay. If I have the win rate below 50 and I'm still in profit, means it's okay. But on average was I don't know how to say it, weak results, something like that. On weekly chart, same idea. From my perspective, we are in the big reload zone. So I'm thinking we have a bear market, but we are in reload zone. I saw this summer, this year only down. So I'm thinking we still have a chance to bounce a little bit. On a daily chart, when I made this one, we are close to the reload zone, in the reload zone, so 21,400. The price is at the same level now, something in this line. From my view, I see this channel on daily chart. So we have the reload zone and we have this bull trend line from this low to this low, and we have a channel. On this channel, we just bouncing around. Bottom, top of the channel, middle of the channel, top of the channel. Now we are just trying to bounce from the bottom of this channel until we see this channel broken down and a bearish retest. This is valid for me. I will prefer to trade this channel. I have a range also. I'm preferring to trade the range. I'm not bearish at this moment. I don't know. It's just me. Keep in mind, this was the low, this was the high. We have the reload zone. For me to become bearish in the reload zone or just a bit above, the people from crypto like to front run the 61.8 level. I don't think it's a good idea, at least from my perspective, to become bearish at this level. On this 4-hour chart, same idea. The bull trend line above the reload zone, indeed. But we had a nice W and a nice. Keep in mind, I made this weekly newsletter on Sunday. But now we have approximately the same levels. Some bullish divergence on MACD, bullish divergence on RSI. We had something even on OBV. Really stupid on 4-hour chart. All the reasons to think up, to search for, to look for long setups. On the Bitcoin dominance, on 4 days chart, don't forget that it's a bigger time frame. The range is still valid. Top of the channel, top of the range, middle of the range, a retest, and now we are just at the 40% level. I'm still expecting a bit lower to test this W. We'll see. If I take a look on, let's see one chart where I put this one. I guess on this one. Let's just see the Bitcoin dominance. BTC. 1 second. Let's just see that. So yeah, now we are just testing that W. We'll see if we have something. The indicators start to slow down and maybe point a reversal. We'll see. Let's go back to the newsletter. Ethereum versus Bitcoin on 1 week chart. The same idea. A nice range, a nice trend line. Broken the trend line on the upside. Hit the 4669 and back down. Now, if we look at daily chart, we see something interesting, at least from my perspective. So it's the same range, but only on daily chart. We made a name after we touched the house level, broke down, and at the first level of support, we just bounced straight up. At this level, could be a bearish retest, just a retest of DCM, or we can W out and go even higher from this level. I saw some news about Binance made the Ethereum versus BUSD on the spot market without any fees. You can trade the Ethereum versus BUSD without any fees. That means the people with money, they could put a lot of fake volume in the market. Why? Because you can sell and buy with the same money. Because you don't have fees, you can sell and buy again and sell again and make a fake volume. We had that when the Bitcoin on the Bitcoin was trading one spot on Binance without any fees. It's just an idea. I don't know if it's correct, but we can put some fake volume on the chart. Looks nice now. With if I look at this one, yeah, looks nice. Maybe we can make a nice W in this area. I don't like the location, but Yeah, we are above this trend line. So I don't see any divergence now. It's just I see some bearish one, but a bullish one I'll have to go on 4-hour chart or something like that. But it's too smaller of time frame to look at Bitcoin versus Ethereum versus Bitcoin. Total two, just up, and now we just made the retest close to the reload zone because we had this one was a ugly W straight up. We need some retest. At first sign of resistance, we just back down and close to the reload zone. The reports for this week is still valid now. We had this one, not too many information. This one, no, was at zero. Today, from my time zone, we have this one, a pretty important report from my opinion. Maybe market is just waiting for this one. We saw some move up, back down. I like to see the market going down before the event. Usually, like Brian says every damn time, usually if the market goes down before the report, after the report will go in the other direction. So I like to see markets going down. I have a clue that we can see a bounce after the report. And Friday we have the biggest influencer of all markets, Powell speaking. So keep in mind that. Don't forget that. Close some short-term position. Put your stop loss and profit because we can get some volatility. It's Friday. Paul speaks, and after that we get a weekend. If we get a dump before he speaks, we can get a nice weekend. If we get a pump, we can get the inverse and go dumping in the weekend.
That's a good
Altcoin,
observation. Buy the rumor, sell the news. Sell the rumor, buy the news.
yeah, something. Keep it simple. Just my way to see the market. A lot of altcoins they hit the reload zone on this last dump. In the last newsletter, I had a message for everyone. I said altcoin made a strong bounce. Don't recommend FOMOing, but work your the reload zone or even pump chaser zone. Seems like the reload zone was the correct one. Most of the altcoins they are back in the reload zone. They're trying to make W's on 1 hour and 4 hour chart. Some of them they have a 4 hour W. If you miss the last move, now you get a chance. But I don't know if it's a swing trade. Maybe people with little old lady risk management strategy for an investment part. You can put a 0.5% at these levels, but you have to see every chart and look at the levels. Not too much on the this weekly newsletter. Like I said, below average results. It's okay, but I don't like to see 2 or 3 weeks in a row with this results. I still almost, I don't know how to say, scratchy to barely profitable. I don't like that. I'll have to. I don't know. I prefer to focus protecting my capital, but I'm a day trader, so I have to trade and I have to make some profit. We'll see what we'll get next week. Until now, from Monday to now, yeah, I had some nice trades. Market now is still in the hard mode. Last 2 weeks was damn hard to trade. Even for me, I saw the difference. The level was not well respected. The 61.8 was front run. When you get an M, is retested, but you'll see it's summertime. I understand that a lot of SFU setups, a lot of hunting the stop losses. Maybe I just have to adapt to the hunting the stop loss. I put my way to use the SFU setup. We'll see.
I want to make sure YouTube hears this. The simple fact that you're running a less than 50% accuracy model and still profitable, I mean, hats off to you, sir. That's definitely a sign of a professional. So
Yeah, it's okay, but I'm barely profitable.
Hey,
4% is not too
I
much of
mean,
a
wait,
profit.
there are some people that actually lose money in this game. I don't know whether you're aware of that or not. So
Yeah, I know. I know. I was one of them a couple of years ago. So
Oh, and then wait, did you go to somebody's school or something? Is that what you're
yeah,
saying?
yeah. But it's a secret. I don't want to tell anyone where I learned. They have to come to my Discord. I don't tell them where to
So
go.
they get the referral code, of course. But hats off
No,
to
I
you,
can't.
dude. That's commendable, and just it goes to show your patience and discipline. You're a consummate professional.
Yeah, you
So
have to be because otherwise you don't have no, you don't stand a chance in this market,
yeah,
especially on crypto.
mm, totally. Continue.
I still have okay. I still have the this range. I said I had this on bigger time frame. I have the channel, and on the smaller time frame, 1 hour, 4 hour chart, I have the this range. Well respected, the middle of the. I'm usually looking to see if it's a really valid valid range. I want to see the middle of the channel how it's behaving. So I see a lot of fight of the middle in the middle of the channel. For me, it's still valid. This trend line is well respected. I'm just playing LJs. I'm just playing in this area. I put an LJ, but I moved the stop to scratch at 1 to 1 because, yeah, price was above the range. But keep in mind, market range 70 to 80% of the time. So I give the credibility to the range. So I move my stop to scratch at 1 to 1. I was stopped out. I'm just waiting on the sidelines. We see a nice bounce, but could be a bearish one, and we're still in the range. I don't trust the first move when I see the move up from the range. I assume every time the market will go back in the range. I don't have any trade at this moment, at least on this one, but I had something today on different time frames. Let's see, I had a GMT. I posted this one even on Twitter. So I have this trade. Let's just put it on 4 hour chart. Maybe it's a clear. See it? My thinking was I had this inverse head and shoulders. I like the fact that indicators have bullish divergence when we made the head on this one. Even if you go on a smaller time frame, we see the same thing. So indicators making higher lows and the price goes to lower lows. I saw this inverse head and shoulder. I just put the trade at the breakout of the neckline. Seems like this altcoin is a bit lazy. I'm still at the entry point. Yeah, no rush. It's just a trade. It's 1% from my account, so it's okay. On Ethereum, yeah, Ethereum looks a bit stronger. We had this trend line, and yeah, it's trying to W out. If I see this level traded, I said to the people in the Discord, this level, if it's traded and close above, yeah, we have a chance to go up. This is a nice head and shouldery pattern. It's not a valid head and shoulders because this is a lower low, but something in these lines. We had a W. Now we break out from this W, make another W. We'll have a nice LJ setup on 4 hour chart if this level is traded. Indicator, I don't have the divergence yet. Maybe MACD histogram, it's a bit laggy, but RSI it's okay. OBV looks damn nice. Higher highs on OBV, so I like that. Wheelie is not stupid yet, so it's okay. On EOS was a damn nice altcoin. And someone from our followers, from Brian's followers, if you know the great Dalmudi, Brian, he point out this EOS chart when the price was in this area, and he said we have some news on EOS. Keep an eye on that. I didn't get the chance to pick up on these levels. I was trying to frame a setup, but I didn't get the chance. But now I'm just hunting a bot setup if I can get one. Now I have only one low. I have this LJ. So if I get a W, maybe I'll go on 2 hours or 1 hour chart. I see it a bit better. Yeah. So I don't have many lows, higher lows in this area. I have only one because I cannot consider this one a higher low. But I have a nice LJ. Maybe if I get a W, I could front run the bot and I get a better risk to reward. It's just an idea. Keep in mind it's a risky trade because it's a continuation trade. It's a bot. It's a 3-to-1, but maybe 4-to-1 if you put the LJ. But don't risk too much on such ideas. For me, this is maximum 1% from my trading account. Indicators, yeah, on this retracement, I see some bullish divergence on MACD, so I like that. It's already confirmed. I see some W's and RSI. The OBV, I have to drag it down. Yeah, OBV looks even nicer. It's trying to make higher highs on this retracement. So Willie was already stupid. All the reason to think continuation A B equals CD. For me, I'm still waiting on this one. W for a LJ or 3 higher lows for a bot setup. I
Throw that chart in the spreadsheet. What do you think, Ben? Do we follow EOS?
Yeah, we can definitely put that in the
but
spreadsheet. Yeah.
it's 1 hour chart, so I don't know if it's for investor, but I could put that.
Mhm.
Put
Well, I
it on
liked your
the
Yeah,
4 hour
well,
chart. The 4 hour chart was pretty cool. And then also
yeah.
too, yeah, the 4 hour chart shows the bottom that Mr. Great was pointing out. And then also
Yeah.
too, if you zoom out, actually, I think you actually see that this thing has got quite a ways to go just to get back to like the 50% rule and stuff.
Yeah, if you go on 1 day chart, let's put the out and put 1 day. Has a lot of room to go up.
Yeah.
Keep in
So
mind, let's just hide the drawings. It's
yeah.
below the all the all the support. So with
The
the
issue I
nice
think
news,
here is does the lows there of early 2022, does that act as like a brick wall here? You
I
know
don't
that
know if we have some more history. This is a chart from 2020. EOS is a bit older than that. So
yeah.
probably on other exchanges we'll
I'm just talking
find
about
out this is a
the lows from earlier in this year.
this
You
one.
know, yeah, because like anybody who wanted to sell it on the breakdown of that level, they're gonna have their orders just sitting there working. That's probably why the level was rejected initially there.
Yeah.
But I mean, anyway, that would be an interesting chart to throw in the spreadsheet, especially your little bot. I like that bot setup, like the 4 hour one.
Yeah. 1 second.
So this is interesting. You like to trade this. This is a forwards contract. Is that what this is?
Yes, Binance Futures is a permanent contract on Binance,
Well,
something like that.
it is not a futures contract, and
I know, I know.
this is what drives me
But
crazy about this crypto space. So it's just interesting. I think this is like a a forward agreement that just constantly has rolled over. So this is a pretty unique concept, I think. This perpetual forwards futures, as they like to call them, to
yeah,
crypto. I've never really seen this before, and it's really done very well for them. So anyway. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you. Sorry to interrupt. I just I thought maybe that would be a good addition to our little spreadsheet.
I have also the comp chart.
Uh huh.
Hmm, looks nice from this view. If you look back, this is close to the 78.6. We are in the reload zone. Let's put an
Uh,
auto check.
yeah.
So, but only for this from this low. If you take the this this one, you are well above 61.8. If you take the ultimate low
So
from
you're
26.
front running your mountain man level here.
No, I know I'm just looking at this level. I keep in mind this one has only 10 million coins.
Ah,
So it's a bit interesting for me when I see a so low value. And I had some good reasons to hunt until now. Now, what I see in this market, I see this OBV. When I see this one, it's a bit ugly. At
yeah.
least on 4 hour. If I go one day, still looks okay, but let's just reset this one.
Ooh.
Looks okay, but no. I'll wait. Maybe on smaller time frames, like 4 hour, 1 hour, maybe I'll hunt a LJ setup.
Hmm.
We had something in this area, but I don't know. This OBV, it's damn ugly.
Yeah.
I don't like that. Near, we have a trend line. I'm just waiting for a. It's a bit lazy this one. I'm just waiting for a W the other side of the trend line. GMT, I said I had this. I have this inverse head and shoulders. I'm waiting. Maybe we can get a Wyckoff check on this level. I'm in that trade. And sand the same idea. We have this LJ bull. This just see a nice W. I'll prefer to wait to buy a bit higher, but to have this W confirmed on, and it's still a small window of risk. If you take a look, it's 107. Even if I risk to this low, I have 7 cents of risk on every coin. So if I zoom out a little bit, I have a lot of room to go up on this one. So it's okay to hunt. If I'm looking at, I have a lot of room up. Now it's just I don't like to look at one day and trade in 1 hour. If I trade 1 hour, I look at 4 hours, something like that.
Hmm.
But it's a nice consolidation this area. Below this, seems like the market structure is it's broken. We have a higher low now. We have a lower low, some lower highs. But I'm looking at the 1 hour chart and 4 hour chart. I
I'm
still
looking
could
at
hunt
the 1 hour
a
chart
bounce on
and
this
four
one.
hour chart.
From this perspective, look nice. Looks okay for me. Atom. A lot of people from our group bought Atom at $6 or $7 or something. They just hit the double level. They get their free coins and they are happy. No, I don't have it on this one, but I'll put it Atom.
Sure. Just wondering
Yeah.
if you could show us the chart. Yeah.
Mm,
There you go.
yeah. Take a look at the buying area. And now it's too it's the take profit area is not for yeah, we still have room to go up, but it's too late for me. I don't have anything on this. Maybe who likes to trade the breakout setups, just wait for a retest and frame a small window, go on lower time frame and frame something here. Now for me, it's the buying level was this level was in this area. We get some below $7, so we had something in a smaller time frame and we frames on couple of altcoins we get almost the bottom on everyone was bearish we are trying to put little old lady at work.
I could see David O be really interested in an inverted head and shoulders on that one. Yeah, right at that level.
Yeah,
I could see him getting interested in that.
yeah, we can get. You mean this something on these lines? I guess.
Well, where you
No.
have your that's all accurate. Yeah, and then down to the head,
Down to the head. Now
and
the
then
something
right
like
there.
that.
Yeah, and so that little shoulder area there, I know David, he would love that in there.
Yeah, it's a small window.
Yeah,
If you look at the big picture, you have a lot of room up. So
yeah,
uh,
cool.
for me, it's a breakout setup or something, something on this line.
What's the momentum and the volume look like?
Volume looks nice,
Yeah, so so volume is
but the
confirmed.
MACD, no, I don't like that. Bearish divergence all the way from this move,
Huh.
from this point, is just pointing down. RSI has some bearish divergence. We test the 50 line now, back up. Willie was a bit stupid.
Fascinating.
For me, it's a bit.
What's a weekly chart look like on that then, or maybe like a 2 day? Maybe you see it a little bit
Let's
clearer.
start the. Let's. No, this one. This 1 second.
That's not bad.
On weekly, it's an ugly W. I don't like that. I want a nice W on weekly chart.
Right.
I'm thinking it still has some consolidation. Yeah, maybe we'll go up, but we'll go back down and make a nice W. I don't like the look on the weekly chart. Below this area, just straight up, no. Maybe you can test this level, maybe, and then go back down. On weekly, no, I don't like. 2 days or 3 days. Let's put 3 days. 3 days we have the same inverse head and shoulders.
Yeah, you can come up with actually a price objective based off that head and shoulders, and my hunch is it probably lines up, yeah, with that high right up in there. You see
Yeah, to
that?
put a house level from this level, I usually do that with the inverse head and shoulders.
Well, I would do it from the top of the head back to the neckline, and then just duplicate that line off of the neckline. That's it's just a trading range breakout.
I like AB equals CD from this point on.
Yeah, you could do
Maybe.
that too. Yeah. Anyway, the point that I was going to make was that it's probably if you did a fib from that low back up to the recent high, that price objective is probably somewhere between 38.2 and 50%.
A fib extension from this low to the.
That low back up against the old high. So yeah, whatever that high is there. I think I'd put in like an M top there, right? Yeah, there you go. So
You want this one or this one? This bigger one or from
No, just
memory? This
not
one.
that high, the one prior to it.
This
Where the
one?
where the M started. So I would do off the next high.
From this one?
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, you have
So
20. The target is $20.
right.
Big
So
fat round
notice
number.
that candle. There's a whole bunch of trap bulls in that one little candle there.
Yeah.
So no, not there.
No.
Right on looks like the beginning of May, and I remember that right on my birthday.
This
Remember?
one?
Yeah. So you notice there's a whole bunch of trap bulls in that wick there, and that's the 50% level. And you could draw like a line, just draw a ray from the bottom of the head back to the neckline, and then just duplicate that line, and it'll give you the price objective of this head and shoulders, which looks to me,
Yeah,
eyeballing
it
it looks
seems
like
like
it's
it's the
right in
same
there.
idea.
Yeah.
So from this area down,
Yeah.
something like that.
And then just
Uh,
duplicate that to there. Yep. So there you go.
Something like that. Yeah. The minimum target for the inverse head and shoulder will be that.
So the issue here is how do you buy in here? How do you frame risk? I guess maybe you buy the breakout and you risk the shoulder. And is that 2-to-1 object? Is that inverted head and shoulders objective at 2-to-1? It might be.
If I get 2-to-1, I'll prefer to risk on the other shoulder level. So I'll buy at this
Yeah.
breakout. If I put this one, I'll have 3-1.
Yeah, there you
I prefer this shoulder if you will invalidate
go. Yeah, yeah.
the pattern. So I have 2-1 exactly, 2.1.
There you go. So there you go, everybody. There's a trade for you. Merry Christmas. Ho, ho, ho. You want to maybe grab a screenshot of that, and maybe we can throw that into the spreadsheet as well.
Yeah, why not? But keep in mind, good people, it's a 3-day chart. So don't go
You
and
can't
buy.
you can't buy the current price. What's the breakout number there?
The breakout number is $12 something on this line.
Yeah. So you can't go and just market buy that. I mean, you could if
Oh,
you wanted to.
yeah, but it's not
What's
something we
and then
do.
what's the fundamentals here? Do we have any idea what
Some
the
improvements in the network. Some I don't know how to say it, spell it in English, but they have something interesting in the news. They didn't have anything. Couple of I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 years, and now they start moving again. They start improving the. It's a damn fast network. So a
like
lot
I'd
of
also
people.
draw a trend line off of the peak from February 2022 and the high from April 2022, that M top, and probably it's going to hit that trend line probably right
Exactly.
around that
This
50%
one
level.
to this one. No?
No, no, the M that you drew the fib off of.
From
Yeah,
this one to this one?
yeah, right there. So that's probably how long this takes. So wherever those two lines intersect. And then also
Yeah.
to notice the low from December 2021. You could probably do a horizontal line right off of that low. And no, not there. 2021. The December of 2021. So, notice that also lines up at that 50% rule.
Something on these lines or something like that.
Well, that's what's that? That's December 2020. Wow, you're going way back. But that's actually a valid. Actually, I kind of like that line too. So just leave that on there. Just leave that on there. But just do
Mhm.
a horizontal line off of the low from December 2021. And actually, probably where those
From
three
my
lines.
perspective, this is valid, and I'll do this one to this one.
Well, no, December 2021. So I don't know whether you can find that on the charts.
December 21. This is 21.
No,
December
that's
21.
2020.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
There you
21.
go. You got it.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
Broke a telephone game.
From this
Anyway,
one to
yeah,
this
if you
one.
just do a horizontal line, I wouldn't do a trend line. I'd just do a horizontal line, right? Because, as we sort of talked
Yeah.
about with the other names, that's a level that if the market trades back to, there's probably a bunch of open orders sitting there and they want to do business at that level. So,
Yeah.
notice how all three of those lines all basically intersect, all right around that same level. And
Yeah.
again, it's right into that wick where there's a whole bunch of trap bulls that would just love to get released. So, and as Ben says, thank you, Mr. Gann. In fact, you want to do a Mr. Gann, what I would do is a time study from the peak in price to this low, which looks to be about 6-8 months. And my hunch is that 50% level is traded to in about half that time. Whatever, if you want to do a time study. That would be Mr. Gann up the butt.
I have to make level 2, Brian, for that.
Get your butt in school. In fact, actually, now Ben's gonna
I'm making
school
too much
you.
money with level 1 tools. I don't need anything else. Honestly, for now it's okay. When I'll have time, I'll switch to level 2 and level 3. But now it's okay.
I love it.
I don't need too many concepts, too many tools. I have to be good at these simple tools. I like to keep it simple.
Yeah,
But yeah,
hey,
I'll do
how does
definitely.
the
I'll do level
expression
2.
go? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, I'll definitely do level 2 and level 3. Some people encourage me to do that.
Well,
But
I mean, like, I'd love for you to be able to talk volume profile, be able to talk gaps, to be able to talk moving averages. So a horizontal support and resistance, kind of what we were just talking about there a second ago. So there's a lot of stuff that high to low trend lines. I'd love to teach you about those. You know, I guarantee you, Paul, that if you did the program, you'd start using all that stuff too, and you'd be even a better trader. But
yeah, I know that.
probably the most important thing here is you have to know yourself. And you will know when you're thirsty and ready for more knowledge. And
Yeah,
if somebody rams it down your throat and you're not thirsty and you don't really care, hey, I'm already making, then it's a waste of money. So really the question is, where are you at? And you'll know when you're ready.
yeah. And I like to when I do something, I like to get to learn everything. So
Yeah.
now I'm just focused on day trading on other projects. So
Yeah. Well, you also have a
a
lot else
level
on the
takes
go
three
too,
months,
right?
so I have to
Don't you have
program
like
that.
you have a private investigating firm going on in Romania right now, don't you?
No,
Just kidding. Um, yeah, yeah. So, and also too, the other sales pitch that I would give you is don't leave taking those courses too long. You see the way the damn inflation's going. There's no way these prices are going to stay at these levels for too much longer. So I know a lot of people are like, Brian, I just did it now because I know it's a ridiculously cheap price and it's not going to stay this way. So keep that in mind too, my friend.
yeah, I guess I could pay for both levels. No,
That's
go
not a
to
bad idea. Just have it in your back pocket. And that way, you can be grandfathered on the site and you won't have to worry about things like monthly memberships expiring, eh?
damn.
Touche!
Yeah.
Anyway, it's all good. And really, all I care is I just want to see you succeed. And it looks like you're succeeding. So, congrats. You know, the irony of it all in this business is during these kind of market states, half of our job is just don't blow yourself up.
Yeah.
Just stay afloat. Pay your fucking taxes. I just got a tax bill today that just nearly knocked me over on my ass. But you know that this is we're in the part of the cycle where you're gonna get nickeled and dimed. We're getting inflated out the butt at the grocery store. The government's gonna try and hit you for as much money as they can possibly suck out of you. This is a dangerous, dangerous time for capitalists. And so your job, I mean, the fact that, like you said, you are profitable through this window, hats off to you. Keep in mind, most people consistently lose money. They cannot make money even in the best of times. And then what's stupid is in the best of times, of course, they think it's endless and they don't bother paying themselves. So on paper, they look like they're stinking rich. And then one day, poof, a Luna happens and it's gone. And it's just like, oh my God, I just wasted 5 years of my life. Way to go. So,
They don't know the process. They didn't know how to treat the market like a business to have the small business. In business, you don't go all in on one idea.
yeah, well, yeah, I mean, it's tragic for them. What really bothers me is when I have people that actually buy the course and after they've taken the course and I've put my heart and soul into trying to change them, and then they turn around and they say, you know what? This time I'm going to ignore the rules, Brian, because I'm smarter than you. And
Yeah, I know everyone thinks he's smarter than the market, but the market will will make you humble again.
as my buddies would say, the market is an ass.
Yeah, you have to treat it with respect. You have to. You can
All
do
right. Well,
what you.
I got other buddies that say the market is a cruel mistress. So I get the impression Paul's under the cruel mistress category, and you better treat that mistress with respect, or she's gonna beat the shit out of you.
Yeah.
All right. Great presentation as always. Good quality information, sir. Great stuff. Great stuff.
Yeah, just my 2 cents about the market.
All right. So, actually, interesting you do the chaos level off of that level. So, I might argue that I would do the chaos level off the next W. And I
This
think you're
one,
for, yeah, that there. And I think
but
the 466
I
one's
did
already
that
been hit.
because I have this one. Something no, or 4 days, I guess, something like that. I had some different. Yeah, that's why
Uh,
I made it because it was the first W,
okay. All right,
something
fair
like that.
enough.
But one day, yeah, you can put another
Well, like yeah,
house
if you
level.
did the second one, it would be. And what's interesting about this is I haven't even included this in the education material because I don't even think I'm smart enough to teach it yet. But man, you guys have really jumped all over this shit. It's
Yeah,
incredible.
but I was listening when you talk about this
There you
this
go.
idea.
Imagine that listening to the old man. Now that's crazy.
No, it's okay. You can learn a lot of stuff without doing level 2 or level 3.
Well, and yeah, that's like Great Del Moody, right? I think he basically taught himself all three levels just off of watching YouTube. So
Yeah,
there you
most of
go.
them, yeah.
And really, if anything, that's a great commentary. Um, I'm the type of guy that if I see that you are motivated and you are thirsty, I'll give you everything for free. You just got to work for it, and there are people like Paul that only needed to do the level one because they worked and they got this shit down cold. So congratulations to you, sir. Hats off.
Yeah, it's a lot of work if you want to, but in every, I don't know,
Well,
in
how
every
long did
domain
you
it's
say
the
you were
same.
on the site? You said you've been on the site for years, eh?
I'm on the site from 2018, something like that, and I made the level 1 in 2019.
So there you go. He's been banging away here for 3 or 4 years on the site. So
Yeah, and every day listen daily briefs, broiled chicken shows. My journal is beside me every damn time. If I
good,
hear something interesting, I just put it in the journal.
fantastic. So remember me when you're rich and famous, sir. I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, let's get there first.
All right.
Be rich and famous. I don't want to be famous. I'm not too rich, really. But I don't want to. It's not my ideal to become very rich. I just want to be. I don't have to think about money. If I go to that level, I never have to think about money. It's okay.
Yeah, you just have to think about paying fucking taxes. Jesus Christ, tax bills are ugly.
Yeah, that's a different problem.
So,
If you want to live in the society to have paved roads and all the good things, you have to pay the taxes. The thing
yeah.
that the government takes a bit too much from our money, yeah, it's true, but you have to pay the taxes if you want to be in a society. At least this is my idea.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to argue with you. And besides, like, we have any choice, eh?
Yeah, yeah, you have a choice. Go and to live alone. I don't know, in the middle of the desert or somewhere where you don't have to pay taxes, but you don't have the condition for good living.
Right, good
In
living.
societies works exact like you have to pay.
All right. Yeah, I can see Michael. You and I have the same sentiment. I don't necessarily argue or
Yeah, I know,
disagree
Michael.
with your assessment, and really, it's like I said, it's kind of a moot point. We're such small fish that it doesn't make any difference. You pay your tax bill, or else you're in big trouble.
Yeah,
So pay your taxes, be good citizens, have a big smile on your face, say thank you very much, and we just go and keep making money in the market. So there you
yeah.
go. All
I
right.
like to pay a lot of taxes because
Oh,
that
there you
means
go.
I
Well, but
make a
see,
lot
that's
of
the
money.
thing. You used to be a police officer, right? So your
Yeah,
wages were actually paid by taxpayers.
yeah,
So no, if you don't pay any taxes, you don't get any calls to keeping the streets safe. So there you go.
yeah.
Anyway. All
But Paul
right.
is not policeman anymore.
Speaking of tax experts, what do you think, Ben? You want to chime in here? Did
on
we put?
the
Hey, there he is.
the
Hey,
tax
Ben.
topic.
Well, actually, you live in the States, so I suppose you're from. Well, actually, doesn't Florida doesn't have state tax, does it? So,
That's yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
so that was one of the
So
big selling features of guys like Trump and stuff moving down to Florida. Is there no state income tax?
yeah, there's a lot of people that move out there for the tax
Yeah.
benefits.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so I mean, beautiful presentation, Paul. Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
All right, cool. And then, of course, did everybody see how to get a hold of Paul? If you would like to hop on his Discord channel, I don't know whether you disseminated that. Always, good to get a plug in for your Discord channel if you want.
We have you put the handle on the Twitter account. From that
Right,
one, they can
right.
find it. If they really want to be part of the community, they'll find a way to reach out.
All right. So I think we put where is I don't know whether I have my Twitter thing. So I don't know, Ben. I mean, with all the traveling, I don't know whether have you been actually looking at the market at all while you've been traveling, Ben?
Yeah, very just slightly.
Yeah.
So no no particular analysis on any coins, just letting my subconscious keep working away at that 72 idea and
Love that. Probably actually,
yeah.
you may like this ETC chart. I get the feeling that this box, the bottom of the box is a fib, and that's 0.055. Guess we didn't quite get a double there. Hey, there goes Paul. He's going for his smoke now. I guess he earned his cigarette break, eh?
Yeah.
So, all
Yeah.
right. I will re-hijack, I guess. I don't know what the proper term is. The screen here. Let's see. Not that page, though. That's the wrong one. Let's do it. Hey, there's Ben. Hi, Ben. I didn't think you realized you're on screen. But
All right.
let's see. How do I do this? There we go. Move that over there. Then we'll go that over there. And I guess we'll put the charts back up on this screen. How am I going to do this? Do you use the web-based, like the browser-based charting for TradingView, or do you use their desktop application?
Yeah, I'm still on the browser base. Yeah.
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 I've
Is it
tried
worth
to
the
use.
switch?
Well, I use this desktop app, but what I noticed is that the trend lines, when you draw them, like, and then you go down to like a lower time frame, the lines themselves move around and stuff. So I think TradingView's got some work to do.
Okay.
But anyway, so just to dovetail what Paul was saying, I thought maybe we'd just take a look at a couple of the sort of internal metrics that I like to follow on Bitcoin. And actually, probably this one. Do you ever use the NVT study? Because for some reason, it seems that this kind of am I screen sharing? I don't know whether you can see what I'm
I
showing.
can't see. I'll go check YouTube, see if it's up
Here
there,
it is,
but
and I'll
on
screen
the
share it
chat.
here now with you.
Yep. Yeah,
So
cool.
I wonder if this is a study that would appeal to a guy like you. It seems to
Yeah,
me.
definitely. Yeah.
So the interesting thing is we're in an area where I'd actually would expect to see the bottom, but the problem is it going to be something like this where we're kind of like all over the map here over the next 6 months, trying to ultimately find that turn. I don't know. I mean, I remember the last cycle peak, especially like here. I think this one psyched a lot of people out. So we had the sort of the bottom, then it ratcheted back up, and that was a trap. We didn't actually bottom until over here. So I'm worried that we're doing this right now. And so that's sort of that comparison. It's kind of tough to see, but it sure seems to me that it looks a lot like this. But anyway, only time will tell. So there's another sort of, at least we're not egregiously overbought. We are heading back up, so that's fascinating. I guess, kind of like that comment that I made earlier about if markets can't rally when they're supposed to rally, what are they going to do when they're supposed to go down? And I'm very worried about that. And so that's this kind of image. That yes, we're in sort of that rally window, and you can see how it sort of happened in here. But ironically enough, even though the NVT study actually cleaned itself up and went back to overbought, the actual price itself didn't really do anything. So just, I don't know. I don't know why this has been bumping around in the back of my mind. I'm worried that it's that kind of scenario. And then coming back to this image here, I kind of think that we're in like this kind of window right here. So we're trying to bottom. You know, here we based, big rally off the lows, then dump. So base, big rally off the lows. Are we dumping back against these lows now? I don't know. Tough to say. And I would expect like over the next month or so, maybe like this is like 2 months. Over the next month or so, I think we're going to find out whether there is one more of these ahead of us that has to happen. I don't know, maybe it's going to look more like this. Notice how steep that is, and then just puke out. So that's steep, and then puke out. So, this next, I would like literally say this next 4 months is probably the absolute hardest of the whole cycle. I mean, it's fun when the market's right up top here. Of course, everybody's paper rich, and you feel like $1,000,000, and everybody's talking about how this time it's different, and price just keeps zooming higher, and lots of people are like, "Hey, I want to participate. Let's party." I actually have to spend all my time going, "Okay, put your money away, and let's start learning." But it's still a very active part of the market. This part of the market, this is where it gets really like the final capitulation phase, the final sort of break your heart phase, throw in the towel phase. It's all a scam phase, all that kind of stuff. That's unfortunately what I think we got ahead of us, which sucks, right? I mean, I want to sit here and go, yeah, it's all peaches and cream. We're all going to make tons of money just getting along. And I think it's extremely dangerous. Actually, Paul had that comment. I don't know whether you saw it on his screen. That it almost, to him, and maybe he's back now, so maybe he'll comment, that we're in difficult mode, I suppose, through all this. We kind of put in a bit of a bottom, and we kind of transitioned into kind of like a medium difficulty mode. There were some bottoms coming in. There is this kind of stuff that's happening. But I get the impression from what I heard from him and how I'm feeling is we're slowly slipping a little bit back into difficult mode.
Yeah, we are 2 weeks. We are already in the hard mode again, from my perspective at least.
Yeah. So that kind of sucks. But anyway, slow and steady wins the race, everyone. We got about 20 minutes left here on the broadcast tonight. Is there anything in particular you'd like to add to the conversation here tonight, Ben? Anything on your mind that you'd like to share?
Maybe something I could run by you after the show. I don't want to throw it out there if it's completely off the wall, but I have a little bit of an idea of the 72 rule that I've kind of been thinking about recently that maybe people would be interested in, but maybe people would like to see some more charts. So I don't know, maybe we can ask YouTube what would they prefer. They want to see.
All right,
see
that
some,
always works. How many people we got? 22 people over there. Woohoo! Big numbers. See, maybe it'll be different over here. Oh, yeah, 22. Hey, if you like the broadcast, could you hit the like button, subscribe, ring Paul's bell? What do Romanian bells sound like? I wonder if they sound any different than Australian bells. Anyway, ring somebody's bell here. I'd appreciate it. And if you're watching this later on through the week, we'd love for you guys to help out with all those kind of Google things that you do. 23 people on YouTube, so. I guess, we got like about 20 minutes left or so. So we could have a little update lecture from Ben on his rule of 72 and what he's found. We could jump into looking into some particular names and just giving you our technical 2 cents. It's up to you guys. What do you feel like doing? I see we got 3 likes out of that pitch. That worked well. And Michael says, don't be a target for sure. Well, in this kind of day and age, totally. I'm actually quite shocked at how quickly the world has turned. So, unfortunately, because we are such little fish, there's not really a hell of a lot we can do to change the situation. So, I couldn't agree with you more, Michael. It's just not worth it. It just isn't. Sucks. But, oh well, it is what it is. Wade, you looking at anything in particular? Where's Adam? Adam learned. So what does he say? He learned chaos theory. Haha. All right. All right. Here comes Tiki Tactics. Says, I'm really liking the rule of 72. Seems to work great off of the second high and a double top. Oh, that's interesting.
There we go.
So there you go. Yeah, well, there you go, Ben. Unfortunately,
Okay.
your fate is now sealed. So step right up.
All right, here we
You
go.
want to? Have you got a chart that we can look at? Do you want me to screen share?
Sure. Yeah, I'll screen share.
All right, we'll pop on over to Ben's screen. So we'll stop screen sharing. All right, and there is Ben, handsome
Here we
gentleman.
go.
See, totally, eh? I mean, you look
Where
at it.
are
I
we?
think
Here we go.
Australian internet actually looks like it's got higher definition than Florida internet.
I think it's
Seriously.
the daylight rather than the
Oh,
nighttime
yeah,
overhead
that's
yellow light.
yeah. Most time you
Yeah.
would check in at nighttime, wouldn't you? Okay,
Yeah.
so you are now
All right.
presenting. There's
Cool.
Brian down in
Okay.
the corner. You can see how scungy I look. But you're now screen
Okay.
sharing
Cool.
the Hangout. Oh, there you go. All right.
Cool. So we can see. Can you see this image here?
Yeah, I can see
We've
an
got
image. Absolutely.
some wavy lines. So I'm a musician. And I like to kind of think of things as sound waves.
Cool.
And really getting into Gann and how he sees the market as different vibrations.
Vibrational signature. I suppose that
Right.
really resonates with you, eh? Oh, there's
It
a good
does.
one.
Pardon the pun. Yeah.
Gan really resonates with you. That's cool.
Yes. So just thinking about the idea of how the easier it is to push a market's price around, you're probably going to get more oscillations around kind of like how sound, the higher the frequency is, the more oscillations around the zero line will happen.
You know what? To
Familiar
be
with that
perfectly
concept?
honest with you, Ben, I think it
Yeah.
would actually be really beneficial if you could come into a daily brief one day and kind of explain how sound actually works and what this image, kind of. Because frankly speaking, I don't really understand how sound works. So,
Okay.
there is a lot to unpack with sound.
Right. There really is. And this is just very, I don't get too technical with it, but I have a very, very rudimentary understanding of it. So maybe that's something I can research and kind of see if there's any more.
Have
more
I ever
parallels.
asked you about the Coral Castle in Florida?
You have, yeah,
Because that's
That-
all, basically, he built the whole damn thing off of just sound, right? Using
Yeah.
resonance.
hmm
Anyway, please continue
Yeah.
with your story. Sorry to derail you.
Yeah, and so if you think about the market of price action as a representation of energy input, you have depending on the fundamentals of the asset that you're trying to push the price around, it can take a greater amount of energy or less energy. And so I kind of see like say Bitcoin was like a slower moving oscillation, and then you have like altcoins kind of moving a little bit faster along with the trend, and so they're going to obviously drop faster or rise faster.
And then you got like the shit coins that are just
And then-
schizophrenic.
Right.
So Bitcoin's orange, altcoins are green, shit coins are purple. Is that the idea?
So that was my original line of thinking, and then I was playing around with the number of 72 recently, and I realized that the 72.3589, whatever I was working on, as working backwards from the 38.2, getting a double. I took the 72.3589, divided it by 2, and that came up with 3.618, which is quite a significant number in its own. And so thinking that, and that made the 72, if you took 3.618 and you double that, you get 72.36. So thinking, well, maybe 72.36 is actually a derivative of 3.618, and if I could find something that is moving at that 30, that it's bouncing off of that 36.18 level,
You want
and
something really
correlating
freaky
to
to think about? This came to mind. 72. What does that derive down to?
9.
Right. 3.618. What does that derive down to?
18, which is 9.
And 18 derives down to 9, right?
Yep.
So isn't that fascinating how that
And
seems to work, eh?
72.36 is also 18, which is 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
So going on to, if you look at Bitcoin, this recent chart here, it just bounced off of that 72.36 level. People stepped in. And so what's kind of something that drives the Bitcoin price? And I thought semiconductors, with Bitcoin miners, and took a couple of looks at some semiconductor ETFs, and there you go. You got that 36.18 level. So going back to this image here, maybe, I just had a thought that maybe this red line might be more of like that semiconductor, slow moving, harder to push the price around. Bitcoin oscillates a little bit more. It's kind of like you're leveraging time, right?
Yeah.
As you're going deeper down the rabbit hole, and then you start moving into these altcoins, and so you go there to there, and then maybe something like that, and you get down to that 86 level. The market starts working a little lower than that, 72.36.
This
So
is
yeah,
this is the altcoins now.
this is the altcoins, yeah.
Because
And so
I've
you're getting to
often
that.
found that I've often suggested that in the venture cap space, I think the reload zone actually I really like sort of like 78.6 to 88.6 in that range. And I've noticed time and time again that the market will go beyond 78.6, but then you look back 6-8 months from now, and you see that the W actually came in right off that 78.6. It's remarkable how often that happens.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I guess that's kind of where I'm at the moment, and figuring out how to maybe use this concept to frame risk. So yeah,
I mean, the
I
interesting
don't
thing
know if
about that
that's
kind of thought pattern is if you actually put it on a logarithmic scale, the distance between 78.6 and 88.6 are down into that 80 plus area. The chart actually size starts to get really big, comparatively speaking, to the rest of the range.
right. It really
So,
does. Yeah, like it can go another 90%
yeah. So I guess
down.
just the point being that the window from 78.6 down to 88.6, or whatever 86 level you want to work off of, that's like a venture cap level kind of idea. Have you noticed that Bitcoin does the 86 move?
Um, I think I think last time from memory it kind of bottomed out a bit between the 72 and the 86.
Yeah.
But
It'll also be really interesting,
yeah.
speaking of semiconductors. You know, theoretically, the semiconductor industry works on the Moore's Law principle, right?
Hmm.
So that means like once every 18 months, basically the capacity of the semiconductor should double in performance, right? Something along those lines. So it would be really interesting that, you know, kind of like Bitcoin halvening events, that's a date in space and time where everything gets reset. I wonder if there is some sort of reference date for the semiconductors along that same lines of thinking.
Mm.
And if that somehow ties into the resonance of crypto and Bitcoin.
Right,
I don't know.
right.
Just thinking out
Yeah.
loud. Like it'd be interesting if you threw up like Nvidia and just
Hmm.
see, you know, how is that behave with regard to your sine waves and stuff.
Yeah, do you think that might be a better
I
correlation?
remember in 2015, 2016,
Hmm.
Sjord was super interested in Nvidia, and it was like $15 a share. Pull up a chart of
Okay.
Nvidia just to show you.
Okay.
How much has that stock gone up since that 2015-16? And the cool thing is we teach spread trading in our advanced level 3 program. And oh my God, there was the most beautiful bull call spread. Somebody put on like 22,000 contracts. So right at that event. So clearly people who were in the know, they knew something big was about to happen. So it's just interesting, like if we zoom out over time, back to that 2014, 2015 window, you can see the breakout. The breakout is plain as day. Then, of course, you go look at the Bitcoin chart and you see, oh, gee whiz, Bitcoin bottomed right around exactly the same time. So, yeah, there, oh, no, you just,
Yep.
wow, geez, was it that long ago? Oh,
How
maybe it was was it? No, it couldn't have been 2019.
you talking about
Yeah, it
2015
was like
when
right in there. Yeah, it
2015?
was right. That's where the Nvidia really started to break out. So they must have
Hmm.
split this stock a few times since then. But anyway, so it was right back in that bottoming area, um, and the breakout. You know, probably the historical breakout through that high there, the 2011 high. But wow, was that ever a signal? And that corresponded because keep in mind these guys did the graphics chart cards that you guys all love so much. And it corresponded just absolutely perfectly with the Bitcoin breakout. And I remember poor old Sjord, man. He was bidding on Bitcoin at $600 and never got filled. And he was bidding on this thing at like $25 and he never got filled. And both of those trades, either one of them would have made him stinking rich. And thanks to Brian, don't chase, don't chase, don't chase. He both of the trades he was left behind. The poor guy. Anyway, interesting that correction there, right in that 72 to 86 level there, right? Look at that. That's interesting.
Right.
Yeah. And if
And
you did
then
like
hitting that 36.
and actually, you know what this is a good example of is that's there's this guy. What did we used to call the Benkoff check? Does anybody remember that? We used to have this guy. We used to always we had a fun time talking about him. Yeah, there's this Benkoff check. Look at that, eh? Damn,
That's
that's
it right
got your
there.
trade
That
written
one
all
there.
over it, eh?
Right there. Look at that one there.
That's you. That is
Yeah.
Mr. Ben in a nutshell, isn't it? Son of a
There we
gun.
go.
Yeah. So, okay, I mean that's going back a ways. That's probably a little bit before, but interesting how 2014, right? That was the end of the last Bitcoin bear. 2015 was when Bitcoin bottomed, and then this thing went just absolutely ballistic coming out of 2015 into 2016, eh? Wow, look at that move.
Right.
So the question is, who's going to be the next Nvidia this next cycle? then look at that. 18, 19, 20. Same thing, right? Didn't we just go through a cycle and a pivot? Now, what would be really interesting, Ben, if you want a fun assignment, is overlay the Bitcoin halving events on that chart and see if they align.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
would
it's
be freaky.
pull them up. But that would, I think for sure there would be a correlation there.
I bet. You know, these guys were all the rage for graphics cards, right? So the question is, who's on the cutting edge of graphics cards these days? Taiwan Semiconductor? Uh-oh. Oh, no.
Intel?
But yeah, well, what the hell's going on? I mean, this is interesting. Now, this has me scratching my head. Pull up a chart of Intel right now. You know, Intel right now, INTC. So, Intel right now this one baffles me. Look at that chart. Like, what the fuck? Are they backing it up into a buy window? Is there, you know, all the harmonics people? If we have anybody watching this who's a harmonics fan, is there a harmonic pattern here? I think there is. But I'm left scratching my head about this damn stock, and this whole company. It just baffles me. You know, because if you zoom out to the 2000, you see that this is one of the few stocks that was like the shit back then. And it has done nothing in the interim. Like, what's going on here? Is this not a Benkoff check happening right now?
Yes, it's like a pretty important level all through there, back here. Eh?
Baffling, eh? I'm absolutely stumped by this company. It doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, my gut here is telling me, go buy this stock, buy this stock, buy this stock. It's cheap. It's you know, it was one of the blue chips. I mean, that whole Windows build out where Microsoft and Intel basically ruled the world. This thing has done absolutely nothing. I mean, just for fun, overlay a chart of Microsoft on that chart and you'll see the difference in price performance. It's absolutely stunning. MSFT, yeah. But just overlay it, yeah. Like don't just put like, look at that difference. Isn't that incredible? I mean, basically Intel's done nothing. Microsoft's gone like through the roof. Shouldn't Intel's chart look somewhat similar to Microsoft? It's baffling, absolutely baffling. Oh, anyway, opportunity is now here. Or opportunity is nowhere. I'm not quite sure which. But it just seems to me like, you know, $33 a share. You see all these damn stocks, you know, they're like $500 a share, right? Microsoft, even now, probably it's already split a couple times, $130 a share. I mean, it's just remarkable. So, yeah, and Adam makes a good point. The only problem with Big Blue is that Big Blue... I don't know. Big Blue actually got into bed with Stellar Lumens, eh? So they're working away on the Internet of Things. Punch up IBM, and here's another one that's just has not performed. So it just goes to show there are some companies that I suppose this guy's done a little bit better than Intel, but. He's been kind of left behind. And actually, it's interesting. Buffett made a huge investment in IBM. And then just one day out of the blue, he just said, you know, I was wrong. And he just liquidated the whole damn thing and just got the hell out. So who can figure out the mystery of Intel? And actually, what would be really interesting is to do a foggy boggy off of that W bottom there. And did we just like run out of steam at the 2.618 off of this level? I don't know.
You thinking like a...
Yeah, right there. Yeah. What's Foggenbaum with that?
Yeah, 2.618.
Look at that, eh? That's ridiculous. So probably you need to pull up your zero line and crisp that up a little bit tighter. But, geez.
Like a...
So actually, this is actually what I see happen a lot. Is the market will W out. It'll go zipping up to the 2.618, then it'll come right back and tag the original breakout. And then it'll kiss off of this level, and then turn back up. So I don't know. I mean, my gut tells me I should be buying long-term call options on this thing and just quit fucking around. Just go get them. I don't know. Call me crazy. Maybe we got to wait for the Fed to get out of the way. I guess also, too, the question would be, and you guys are so smart about this, is, who's making the sexy cards that you guys are going to be buying to mine Bitcoins? Yeah, look at that gap down there at 10, $15, eh? So it is a bit concerning, this stock. It's baffling. I mean, like you saw the Microsoft chart. I mean, it baffles me about how this stock has just underperformed. So, if anything, maybe that's a good sort of feedback. Anybody who does know of sort of up and coming semiconductor companies, because keep in mind, 2015, 2016, Nvidia was sort of like the new kid on the block. And hell, if you had bought some of that stock, you'd be pretty happy today. So maybe that's probably a better way to think about it. Is what does AMD look like these days? I'd be curious as to what AMD looks like.
Should I compare it or just bring it up on its own?
I don't know. Just bring it up on its own. I remember we had one guy out of he lived in Serbia. Oh my goodness, look at that, eh? So one guy lived in Serbia, and he was uber bullish of this thing at $2 a share. Can you see the little W down there at $2 a share? Thank God, that was the time to buy this damn thing. Yeah, see the W there? Thank God, if you'd just gone and bought a board lot of this shit, you'd be fucking stinking rich. Drives you crazy. Look at that W. I mean, you come to TRI, that's what I'm trying to teach you how to do, is see those W's. And then the worst part about it for Chaba was that he knew this stock was a buy. And he kept talking about it, and yet he never bought any stock. And it just drove me crazy to see this thing go up and think about him. Because he was absolutely right. And if anything, that is a great analogy, guys and girls. When I used to be at the prop firm, I used to always talk to these, real heavy hitter guys about, oh yeah, this level, that level, this level, that level. And they'd be like, oh, here comes Beamish, oh, Mr. Mini Hedge Fund Manager dude. And they'd always make fun of me because I would talk levels, but I'd never take the trades because I was too chicken shit. And here's a really, really good lesson that, maybe it's in your best interest just to buy a couple bucks worth. I mean, at $2 a share, just go buy 100 shares. That's $200 and just put it away. And it might turn into life-changing events. I mean, would you have believed, that $200 investment or $250 at $2? Where the hell is this thing now? It's like $150 or something.
Same.
I mean, just insane numbers. And maybe sell half on a double, keep Brian happy. But that board lot would be now worth what, $16,000. Well, I guess now it's at 10, right? So. It's even $100 right now. So now the problem that I have with this chart, and it probably speaks to Intel as well. And I don't know, we didn't really look at Nvidia too closely. But should we come in on the buy side there? Anyone? Paul? Paul, if that was an altcoin, would you buy that there?
No, not a chance. No.
Silly stock market people.
Yeah.
The good part about this is everything that Paul uses to kill the altcoin markets, the same logic here. There's no difference. Same shit, different pile. So you see where reload zones are. You see where Ben's 78.6 to 88.6. And the problem here is 2022, 2023. Is this supposed to be a friendly part of the market cycle or a not so friendly part of the cycle?
Friendly if you want to buy cheap. Why not?
Well, I'd probably wait till maybe Q4 2023 and then maybe start thinking about it. My hunch is I wouldn't even be surprised if the market actually bottoms like January of 2024, which means that we've got a long slog ahead of us, boys and girls. Long slog.
Yeah, but you can make a lot of doubles in the little old lady in this time.
Well, if the market, I mean, like AMD here, are you saying that you're going to go and buy that there?
No, not at this level, but I'm waiting at 78.6, something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
If I see a nice W, I put 1%. If I get a double, I put the free coins or free stock aside and do it again.
There you go. Rinse and repeat. Slow and steady wins the
Yeah,
race.
I have, if you are right, 1 and a half to get some free coins on altcoins on doesn't matter the chart. If you want to do it, you can do it on stock market or crypto. But at that level, I don't like it. It just hit the GAN level, the 50% level, straight down, straight up. I don't see anything on that chart.
Right. So maybe let's you know what I would say if you're sitting here watching this going, what the hell is these guys talking about? What I would just simply say is maybe just enroll in our level 1 like Paul did. Just park yourself on the site for this next year and a half. And then when we actually turn into a bull, you're ready to rock and roll. Anyway. Then also probably a good idea to visit Ben's cutting edge technology for superior trading. What the hell is that? CFD losses can exceed deposits. And in fact, we could actually steal your entire net worth, but shh, don't tell anybody. And just be aware, whenever you see CFDs are actually outlawed in the United States because they are extremely dangerous markets. So be careful, people. It's fascinating that TradingView is actually lining I guess the non-paying customers to go down that road. That's just asking for trouble if you go down and do that kind of trading.
There we go.
Oh well, what can you do? Okay, it is a little bit after 8 o'clock. Did we get any actual requests to look at any altcoins in particular? I don't really see anything. We got off on a tangent talking about semiconductors. I really enjoyed the conversation with you, Ben, about the rule of 72. We got to kind of think about how, my assignment for you is I want you to figure out the secret of the Coral Castle and his ice cream.
All right. I'll see if I can build one out here.
And then also too, while you're at it, go to Egypt and check out the images in the the tombs and the pyramids and all that shit about they've got like these cones and they have like images of the cones and they're kind of like radiating some sort of energy, and I have a funny feeling that has to do with sound as well. And that's how they were able to lift, all the boulders to build the pyramids and stuff. There's got to be a direct connection because this. And if you want a fun assignment, people, go onto the interneting and do a little search about the Coral Castle in Florida. It will blow your mind. It makes no sense at all. But what it does make sense to me is there's some sort of hidden technology there that Big Brother hasn't figured out. And the first person who does figure it out, if you get the copyright on it, oh my goodness, you could be stinking rich.
Or you can be dead.
Well,
they don't let you to put the technology. They'll mess up all the civilization at the level we have.
It would change everything, eh? Like I remember.
Yeah, so.
I remember. We used to be really big fans of the Mayan calendar and how 2012 was supposed to be the end of the world. And we were actually going to build an anti-gravitational machine, which I do believe the technology is out there. But I never got around to it. Unfortunately, I had a son with severe autism, and that changed my life quite a bit. So I stopped thinking about all those funny dreams. But I don't know. I think a lot of this technology is just floating out there. It's just somebody's just got to come along and put all the pieces together. So anyway, if you want a fun assignment, that's all you YouTubers as well. Coral Castle, look into it. So there you go.
I'm just noting in my journal. I will take a look.
Excellent, good. I'll come over to Romania and we'll build it together. It's basically they're two snow cones. The one kid saw him one day lifting up one of these rocks, and somebody was like, "How did he do it?" And he said the kid said he was holding two ice cream cones, and he was pointing the ice cream cones at an object, and it was like where the two ice cream cones, sort of their beams, intersected. It created like an anti-gravitational field. So it's there. I mean, it's just a question of we just got to put it all together. Hey there, Mark says, I live in Miami and have been to the Coral Castle. It's really incredible. So there you go. So there's even a testament that I'm not bullshitting you. Anyway. Okay, quarter past the hour. I don't know.
Let's just, if you have time, let's take a look at LTO. Looks interesting.
LTO. All right, cool. So fire up the
On a
chart.
weekly
Let's see if
basis.
let's go buy some shit coins.
I know Sturge was interested about this crypto. When was at the lower prices?
Who was interested? Sorry?
Sturge or something. I don't know how to spell it in English.
You lost me. Okay.
All
right, Ben. What do you think? What are you seeing? Ooh, interesting trend line rejection there, right? Good reason to wait for a W on the other side of trend lines. Holy crap! Zoom right in off the bottom there and do a little foggy boggy off of that W and see if that was 2.618 that it banged up against. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that W right down there. Yeah.
This little guy here, or
yeah.
It's hard with those big wicks, hey?
Yeah. There you go. So not a big surprise it stalled out where it did. So the question ultimately is, are we actually turning on the other side of this trend line? Maybe zoom right in on that. And I'd even do like an uptrend line off of those lows and see if we've intersected through that. Yeah, so you notice the slope of that, all that. There you go. So, and I could see this, also too, have you guys ever heard me use the expression candle body lows for trade location? Look at all those juicy candle body lows down in there. There's that one, but I don't think if this thing's still a bull, I don't think we go after it, but that one definitely. Then the next one, yeah, all right down in that area. So what comes first? Do we tag those levels and put in like some sort of, railroad tracky kind of, I think we call them like tweezer bottoms kind of lows? Or can we actually carve out a nice wide W here? I would say, the position trader, little old ladies, that kind of stuff. You want to come in, start nibbling. We're probably like reload zones, If you did like a range off of all that.
That's the high there, but you want to go up the recent?
Well, just right there, that high, you were right there. Actually, that candle from May. Oh, okay, yeah, I see. Yeah, I would do it off of that high. But that's just me. I'm a weirdo. So there, and then where's your 88.6? Yeah, look how 78.6, 88.6 right in that window. That's right against all those candle body lows. So that if I was thinking about like sharpshooting this thing, I would be focused on that area. You want to throw in some stink bids down in there. That's not a bad idea. Or just wait for your W bottom to come in. And it just made a new low there the other day, didn't it? Yeah, that day right there. So there's no W's yet. Like you could probably drill down to like a 4-hour chart. I haven't convinced you guys of 243-minute charts. Those are my favorite charts these days. And actually 243. What number does that come out to?
That's a 9.
I love that shit, man. Andrew Tate is my financial advisor. All right. Who the hell is Andrew Tate? Does that name ring a bell to you guys?
Yeah, we know who it is.
Oh, you know, I don't
Was
know.
banned from I don't know, Twitter and all the social platforms
And he's your
recently.
financial advisor?
No,
No.
just a I don't know, a social media guy, an influencer,
Okay.
has some controversial opinions just to reach out to the people to get a lot of followers,
Uh,
something like that on that line.
do I have any controversial opinions?
Not like that guy, no.
Do you want to
They
answer?
start laughing. That's not a good sign. what do you think of that guy who's running the country of Canada right now, Brian? Bleep, 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 bleep. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see whether I actually even make it out of the airport. I have a funny feeling airports nowadays are the check-in rooms for the concentration camps. So it'd be interesting to see if I even make it to mind you, they'll probably hit me on the way back, right? Anyway.
Yeah.
All right,
Bring it to
so
an end.
have we got a W to work with here yet? I don't think so.
Not yet.
Yeah. How about momentum? Do we have any momentum divs? Do we have any bottoms working? Ew, no, I don't see anything.
It's just a nice level on weekly chart to take a look, but no, I don't have a clear signal to buy, but the location for on weekly chart looks nice
Yeah. All
for
right,
little
so
old lady.
we got location. Probably now, if we were doing our spreadsheet, we'd say we're waiting for indicator confirmation, and maybe go out to the daily, Ben, if you could, and let's see if there's any kind of divs or anything forming there. Yeah, that's pretty darn weak. I think, ironically enough, what you have to have is MACD, and this is one of Brian's funny MACD studies. It's a little bit different than out of the box, but the point here is you probably have to have price head down and make a new low, probably play along that trend line, but MACD not make a new low. And if that's the case, then we're gonna have the startings of a bottom. So it looks like it's early. As you said, not a bad location. What's the fundamental story like? You like the fundamental story?
I don't know if I don't like to look too much at the fundamental stories of. I look at the weekly chart. I see how a nice location,
Hmm.
and I'm just start hunting and putting at the lower part of the
Was this
exactly where
this was the name that Fjord was in there a year or two ago,
exactly
right?
was
Yeah.
saying earlier.
All right, can you zoom out to the whole image? Because I remember this guy. This is a really good lesson in don't write checks. Your coin can't cash. I think, if anything, this is a really good lesson in the market moved too far, too fast in 2021 there. And what was really disappointing about this was the guy who was in charge of this story kept using the expression life-changing events. Life-changing events. I mean, you look back there in 2021, you should see W's and you should go, yeah, that looks like that was a pretty good buy. And really, I like the bigger weekly W, the really wide W. And right at basically in like October of 2021, that's when this thing was breaking out. So, great story. But the problem is the silly director himself, the guy running the story, he basically sandbagged this. And what was really interesting about this story, I mean, like, everybody should have bought the W there. They should have been banging out doubles, 2 or 3 doubles. You make great money. I mean, here's a really good analogy of why it's so important to pay yourself in this silly game. And, and maybe you sell half on a triple. Maybe you sell half on a quadruple. I don't know. But you just got to make darn sure you pay yourself something. And now it appears that basically this thing's right back at those original breakout levels, eh? Probably something like this. My knee-jerk response, if somebody called me up on the telephone and said, "Hey, Brian, you're my broker. Should we go and start accumulating this thing?" I would say, "Excellent. Let's have it on the radar screen. Soon as the Fed stopped raising interest rates and they want to start stimulating the economy again, let's rock and roll. Until then, you can, like little old lady, it's great to see the weekly MACD bullish divergence in. If a big fat W comes in on price, rock and roll. We're ready to go. But I would just say I don't think there's a huge hurry, and that breakout will probably come, like I said, when the Fed's done. Yeah, that would be my 2 cents here. Yeah, okay. Maybe you can throw that in the spreadsheet, Ben. What do you think?
Sure. Yeah, I'll zoom up to kind of this here. Or do you want the whole weekly?
Yeah, I do like the
Yeah.
idea of the bigger picture, being able to see that weekly MACD bull div. That's
Yeah.
kind of cool to be able to see. It's cheap, and then the question, but Paul doesn't give a shit. But does this story have legs? What is it that they're doing? Are they reinventing the wheel? Like, what I would say is, if you could actually have those highs on the price chart, Ben, then just draw a simple trend line off of the highs, and that's probably where this thing's going to run into major resistance. Yeah, right there. So, I mean, what is that? We're right now sitting at a nickel, and it looks like whatever the next, serious rally is going to take us up to 50, 60 cents. So, what the hell? Yeah, that's what, 5x, 10x? There's probably some money to be made here. And if Paul's accumulating it, then at least you're not chasing. It's probably a
Yep.
half decent idea. So there you go. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, if they bring back the W, kind of wash those lows, and
I like that
turns out to be,
877 up there. That 877 looks cool. And that even gives you a window. So basically what this thing is saying is, if their story is legit and they're reinventing the wheel and this thing's the shit and rock and roll, it's going to do great, we should see a W come in here. We're on the other side of this trend line, so just give us a W. And we got location, we got indicator confirmation, give us price structure, and away we go. You'll pick up a little bit of this at 10, 15 cents. You let half of it go at the 4.669, 30, 35 cents, somewhere in there. Seems like a pretty easy trade. And look to let some more go up at that 50, 60 cent area. Makes sense to me. It's pretty simple. All right. Good job. On that note, shall we call it a night? We've been going a good 2.5 hours here, so don't want to turn this into a daily brief kind of thing, eh? 4 hours later, are they gonna shut up? Jesus Christ, this guy talks a lot. Actually, you know what, Ben? You could also draw a nice little trend line off of the peak at the very end of 2021. You see that peak? Against this most recent peak that you did. No, 2021, the very end of the year.
Oh yeah.
No, not that high. The next high, the next subsequent high. Yeah, that
This one
high.
down here. Yeah, okay.
That high there, off of this next high. Yep, there you go. All right, so now you're starting to get multiple trend lines all coming sort of together. That's what I like to call confluence. It clearly shows that it took a brick. It'd be interesting to look at volume. I bet you they had to do quite a bit of buying to break through those trend lines. Now, if this thing really is a bull, now is when this thing has to step up and bottom. Yeah, so you can see the little bit of volume that they did on the buy side there. Try and perk it up. But where are the buyers now? Look how mysteriously quiet everything has gone. That's a little bit suspicious, people. Be careful here. Yeah. Then also too, I hate to say it. I mean, have you guys seen what my projection is for what the S&P is going to do into October? It's not pretty. So
Take back the screen, or do you have a link to that?
I
No.
explained it earlier on with the election
Yeah,
year cycle stuff.
gotcha.
So, and of course, come on the website if you're watching this in the public domain. Actually, you could just rewind back to the beginning of this video. I walked through all that. So, my hunch here is, in fact, can you see how this thing is actually making a volume impetus sell signal here? This, and Ben, you're such a smarty pants. Maximize the volume pain if you could, please. And tell the good people where the bull officially fell asleep here.
Okay, let's I'm gonna move this to its own pane. Go.
Yeah, oh
So
boy, that's not a good sign.
on the weekly,
Right there, I can see it as plain as day. I can see exactly where the bulls fell asleep.
I mean, going back to December,
So that's your
this
original
one is heading
peak. So that's your number one.
1,
There's your number two.
2, maybe here
Well, but we
or
made a
down
higher
here.
peak than that, didn't we?
No, the last high on
The last
the
high,
green.
this one here.
Yeah, that's number three. So
Mm,
The
what
next
is
candle
the
is
lowest volume bar between 2 and 3? And of course, we're talking about buyers, so we're measuring the bull. What's the lowest bar you see between 2 and 3?
let's come down here.
Yeah, and lo and behold, uh-oh,
There you go.
right there. So that bar actually there, and that, remember that green spiky bar, the number 3 bar there, that was our attempted rally. So it's like they rallied as best as they possibly could, and then literally the next week, everybody disappeared. So this to me looks like there was some sort of news event that they were bidding the market up into the end of July there. So, like if you do follow the fundamentals of this, remember this guy, right? Life changing events. And then it turns out all the insiders were selling coins. So, was there some sort of big promotion or something there into the end of August? And then once that, or the end of July. And then once that happened, why did everybody just disappear the following week? That's a really dangerous sign. Now, for this to turn into a runaway bear and the bears start taking over and all hell breaking loose, you need to see the bears wake up and take over. Would you say that the bears are awake right now, or we're waiting for the bears to wake up?
Yeah, we're waiting for them.
Right. So I think everybody here is asleep. It's dangerous to come in and call bottoms. Our job is not to put bottoms in the market. Our job is to recognize that somebody else has put the bottom in the market and then just ride their coattails. Like, it'd be interesting if you threw on the OBV study on this just to see if we have any structure in the OBV indicator. And if it's M'd out here, oh boy, be careful. Hey, no problem, Wade. All right, what do you think, guys? All you 20 people over on YouTube. Are we not giving away the shit here? I mean, isn't this like the stuff that you want to learn? All right, now this is interesting. So the Bears haven't officially sort of taken over, have they? Kind of in drifty mode here. So that's a good sign. You really don't want to see those Bears wake up and drive that OBV down. If we do, then this thing could be in a bit of trouble. All right. Well, we got a nice little technical analysis 101 tutorial there for you. Isn't that fascinating? So as we were going through this very thick TA stuff, we actually saw the number of viewers of this video dropped. Isn't that fascinating? Oh well. Hope you guys enjoyed the offering. Hit the like button, subscribe, ring Paul's bell. I think Brian actually has, he's supposed to be wearing his nipple bells right now, so ring my nipple bells if you could, please. Thank you so much, Ben, reporting in from down under. That's awesome. And
Yeah.
thank you, Paul. Great presentation as always, Paul. Good professional stuff. I mean, what he showed you there about how actually he's batting under 50% but still making money as a trader. That's the shit, man. That's great work. So, all right, everybody. What do you think, guys? Should we call it a night?
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds good.
Let's
I
call it the
know
morning. I have
Paul
to
is
start
a
trading.
man of few words,
Yeah.
but Paul, any closing thoughts?
Yeah, same every week.
What's
Manage your
that?
risk. Treat market like a business, and market will treat you like a king.
All right. And Ben, this is the Ben. I love Ben. Ben's always a man after my own heart. So Ben, closing thoughts?
Let's send some PMA to Brian's way, and he hangs out with the boy tomorrow.
Yeah. I tell
And
you, I did a shitty job this past week. I could have. I mean, I don't think I did anything bad, but I think I was a little hard on Liam. I could be a better dad. So yeah, everybody,
thinking of you, and
just give me everybody reach out. Go, Brian. You can do it. It's a tough job managing autism, but PMA for the win. Those karmic messages, they help me a lot. Thank you, everybody. Any other thoughts? Do you see more alligators and crocodiles in Australia or Florida?
I would say Florida.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah,
the big bad
they're
animal
rare.
you got to watch out for when you're in Australia?
They got some drop bears.
Some what?
Drop bears. They'll fall out of trees and attack you.
Really?
No.
You're just messing with me.
That's what everyone says. If you come to Australia and they ask you, you'll get told about the drop bears. So I probably just gave away the secret, but
Oh no!
they'll come for you.
Oh yeah, me going.
Yeah.
Yeah, kangaroos. I saw kangaroos, man. I actually saw one guy actually get into a boxing match with a kangaroo. And what was fascinating was the kangaroo's upper body. He was really built. I couldn't believe it.
Oh, they're jacked. Yeah.
Yeah. He actually looked
Yeah.
like a weightlifter. I was surprised. Anyway. All right, guys. Thanks so much for your participation tonight. Always a pleasure working with both of you. Thank you so much, Ben, for popping in on your vacation. I hope the kids are enjoying meeting mom and dad, or grandma and grandpa, I suppose.
Yeah, it's great.
Getting to know their down under side. And actually, I don't know. I guess you're not a smoker, eh? I guess you don't have to pay $50 for a pack of smokes. But isn't that
No.
what's the cost of living like there? Is it crazy?
So where I am right now in WA, it's I would say it hasn't been hit with inflation as hard as the US.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, son of a
Mhm.
gun. The reports that we get here, it's like, oh my God, like I said, $50 for a pack of smokes.
Right. I mean, cigarettes is probably maybe like one of those cases that might be
Yeah.
a little isolated. There certainly has been inflation across the board with a lot of things, but comparatively, I don't think it's as bad.
Oh, well, that's good. Maybe you might even relocate, eh?
Yeah, it's a little cheaper over here at the moment.
So the what I'm hearing is that the koalas have syphilis, and you got to watch out for
There you
that.
go. The real drop bears.
The real Trump bears. All right, guys. Fantastic job. I mean, probably want to wind this up. I guess our only thing left to do here is our grand. Whoops! No, now I've screwed things up. Our grand predictions. We never did do that. So why don't we finish off that? Let me see if I can zip over to that page. We'll put that over there, and then we'll pull this up here. And what do you think? Well, since you were MIA last week, what do you think, Ben? Where are we going? Up, down, or sideways here?
I might pop a 0 on my
All right.
my sell.
Big neutral. Yeah. Paul, what do you think? What are we going to do here, buddy?
Oh, yeah, I'm thinking 1 or 2. I don't know. 1.
Not a 3? Come on. So what do you want to go?
Keep in mind, I don't trade my opinions. I trade my setup. So don't
You're awesome, man. You're awesome. You want to go 1.5?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, we'll give Paul a 1.5. All right, there you go. And Brian, Jesus, I'm not excited about this at all. I think I'm gonna officially go a -1. But the good part about that is if I do the -1, then that means we're probably gonna rally. So, okay, why don't we leave it at that? Have yourselves a great rest of your days. I suppose you guys are just starting your days. Yeah. And of course, everybody over here in the Americas, have yourself a great evening. PMA for the win. All the best. And I guess, I don't know. Ben, you want to give us a big Aussie, take us on out of here? The only thing left for us to say is...
See you later, mate. Bye for now.